Hello everyone, welcome back to QA and Dev Tips. In today's video, we will learn about the while loops in Python. So they are used to repeat the logic safely and clearly. If you are a beginner, this lesson will help you understand step by step. So please watch the video until the end because you will see practical examples you can use right away. So, what is a while loop? A while loop runs a block of code again and again as long as a condition is true. So you can think of it like this. Keep doing something until a rule says stop. So let's start with a simple example here. And this program, when you run this code, it's going to print the number 1 from 1 to 5. So the loop stops when the condition becomes false, and the condition is the condition count is less than or equal to 5. So every time the loop runs, the count is incremented and it checks for the condition. If the condition is true, it executes it, and until at some point this condition becomes false, and so the program exits. So the important point here is you must change something inside the loop. Like I am here changing the count, incrementing it by 1 every time the loop runs. So if nothing changes inside the loop, let's say I did not have this line, it's going to print, the program is going to run forever. So let's see. So it's going to print the number, the message count is 1 until I press the Control C to interrupt the program. So something must change inside the while block. So that's when the loop stops, because at that point the condition becomes false. So again, the important point is you must change something inside the loop so that the condition at some point becomes false and the program stops. So here is an example of what not to do. So this is let's take a look at this code. So here we have this code. So again, as I said, this is the same example, and it's going to print the number 1 forever, because we didn't change anything inside the code. And what I mean is the x value never changes. So this condition is always false. 1 is always going to be less than 5. So make sure you always update your variables. So now let's see a practical example where this script, the Python script, asking for the user for a valid input. So here you can see the program starts with while the condition is true, it's going to ask for the user to input the age, and then it's checking whether the input is a digit, and then the age is converted to an int, and then it prints it and then breaks. So this keeps continuing to ask the user until the valid number is entered, and then it stops. So let's see. So I'm entering the number age. So if I enter something like R, it's not a number, so it says please enter number only, and until I enter a valid digit, because it is taking a digit, it's going to print your age is 10, and then because we have a break statement here, the while loop is not going to continue. It's going to exit and come out of this while loop, and so that's the break statement here, which we will see more in detail. So the break, actually what it is doing here is it stops the loop immediately. So here when we enter the valid number 10, it is a digit, so it's going to, this condition, if it is a digit, it's going to convert that into a integer, and then it prints, and then it sees this break line, so it's not going to go again and execute the for loop. It's going to quit, it's going to come out of the while loop, and if there are any other code here, it's going to execute the codes in line 10, 11, 13, but since we have nothing else in the program, it's stopping right there. It's printing your age is 10, and then it stops because of the break. It's coming out of the while loop. So that's the break statement. Now the continue statement. The continue statement, here I have another example code here, and let's look at this. So the continue statement skips the rest of the code, rest of the current round of the for loop or while loop and moves to the next round. So here you can see here it prints 0, 1, 2. It didn't print 2 because when the I becomes 2, it's going to skip the entire rest of the block, so it's not printing the number 2. So let's build a small real world example, which is a login check. And here you can see here the correct password is python123. So we have an infinite for loop here, because while the condition is always true, it's asking the user to enter a password. The program keeps asking until the correct password is entered. So if the password is not python123, it's going to, let's see what happens. So here is the password here. So let's say I'm going to type an incorrect password. So it says wrong password, because in the program you can see the password ABC is captured here, and then it compares that value with the correct password, and then if it is correct, then only it will say login successful and break out of the while loop. Otherwise it's going to say wrong password, try again, and it's going to continue the for loop forever. So if I keep entering wrong password, it's going to keep. So this is a great example. And let's see, if I enter the correct password, it's saying login successful, and there you go, the break statement is executed, and it's no longer going to continue the while loop, even though we have a while true, which is a forever while that's going to keep running. And always ask yourself when this loop will stop. So that simple question helps you avoid mistakes. And let's look at another useful pattern, and that is a limiting atoms. And let's see that. So here you see the program, initially the atoms is 0, and while atoms is less than 3, which is the condition, until this condition is met, it's going to print the number of atoms. And you can see here is attempt 1, attempt 2, attempt 3, and there you go. After the 3, it's going to increment it to 4, and the condition 4 less than 3 is false, so it's not going to execute the while loop. So the program continues, and then it finally prints the finished message. So the quick recap: the while loop simply repeats code, conditions control execution, and breaks exits early. So update your variables inside the loop. And if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. In the next video, we will explore on the topic of the for loops and how to iterate over sequences. So stay tuned, and I will see you in the next video.